right, Ed. So you remember what happened last time, right? You
Yep.
decided to drink something Zeus gave you, and then you end up drinking or eating the soup. Then you realized you had little cuts in your mouth, and you passed out.
After I got stepped in a bear trap and walked off the potion that got everyone else with.
Yeah. So you're waking up at the fire. It's starting to be morning, and the turtles are in their shells, and Jeremy's still passed out on the ship. But
He's still there. Yay.
roll perception.
Ah, fuck.
I just want to see if you can see what's wrong with Jeremy. Why are you rolling with advantage again?
Because that's where it was for the last time.
Oh yeah, that was with the disadvantage last time. Yeah, but you have no effects, so it's a regular roll. Yeah, you don't see it. But you do see on like you can see Jeremy's body and you see like he has like a little lump crawling around on him underneath his clothing.
I just think it's his hand.
Yeah. Um so what are you gonna do in the morning? Are you gonna sit around the fire, stay warm for a little bit until it heats up a little bit?
Probably try to get my bearings and think about where I am.
What you do hear though is Andel snickering again.
God, not again.
But you look around where you're standing, you don't see any traps or anything like that.
Um, Question.
Yes.
Why do I have no skill points? Why do I have no skills? Nothing.
We haven't gotten to you yet. All right, so Jimmy and Gage, you guys are just now waking up. Jimmy, you realize you have someone hanging next to you. You're hanging by your feet like you stepped in a trap. You stepped in a snare. Hanging upside down.
How close is he next to me? Right next to me?
Yeah, you guys are like, it's like you went and got him and you were walking him back to the camp. Because last year you remembered you got trashed at the camp and you passed out.
Yep. Okay.
So you must have went out back to the beach, grabbed the other human because the other guy was mad at you because you weren't human, and he tried dragging his ass back to the camp, got lost. But now you're hanging upside down by a snare. Engage, you're waking up too. You're just in the woods hanging next to someone you don't know. Gage, this is the shipwreck where you don't know any of your skills.
No.
Do I have
That-
anything on me to cut this rope?
When you look down, you can see your weapon on the ground. Just out of reach. Like your fingertips can basically you're like tapping it with your fingertips. Like that's how close you are to the ground.
Stop. Get over there.
This snare was used for most likely a pig. And you come to realize there's an asshole turtle that likes to set traps.
Yep.
And when you look over at Gage, and he's just staring at you like, what the fuck is going on here?
fuck boy. Who the fuck are you talking to, you little fucking slave bitch?
I just haul up and straight up hit him.
All right, roll an attack.
What is it? It's just straight dex, right?
You remember what Gage is wearing?
No, which one is he?
He is the one that was wearing the.
Looks like a soldier.
Yep.
Black hair, black eyes, purple cloth with a piece of yellow moon.
Yep. That's wearing like somewhat plate armor.
Yep, still hitting him.
So unarmed.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't have unarmed strike set up.
You just roll a d20 and then add your modifier.
It's strength, right?
Yeah. So, Gage, you see him swing at you?
Mm-hmm.
Like he hits you in the face and it does nothing. It was probably the weakest swing you've ever had in your life, Jimmy.
I am hanging upside down.
Yeah, but you hit him in the face and you're like, I'm going to break his nose. And it did nothing.
Ha! Is that all you got, you weak sack of shit?
Funny thing is, ah, you're killing it, Gage.
Chaotic evil. Gotta play the part.
Well, if you read your personality traits and everything, dude, you're killing it.
Let's bounce so I can get my weapon, fat boy. What was that? I saw that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. So you guys start.
Wait. We're able to reach our weapons, you said.
You look down and you can see that there's one weapon on the ground, and it's fingertip. Basically, you can see Jimmy trying to grab it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like fingertips away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna push him off to the side so we both start swinging so I can try to grab it.
Pretty sure I'm taller than you.
Let's see what.
Well, I don't know. I don't have no detail in my thing.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
Click on your bio.
right there. It's empty.
Look at the top, dummy. It says your age, your size, your height.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Jimmy, you're barely taller than him. Gage is 6 foot and you're 5. Or Jimmy, you're 6 foot and Gage is 5'11". All right, while you guys are sitting there pushing and swinging at each other,
Oh,
Ed,
now
would
I
you,
can't get back to my fucking. Oh, there we go.
all right, Ed, what are you doing?
Probably fixing my hair from sleeping on the ground.
All right, so you look over at Dread while you're fixing your hair. Dread's starting to wake up, and he tells you like, "Hey,
Go.
so last night we've been having these issues with these raptors terrorizing the camp. They kept attacking it and clawing at our fence. So Andal went out and set some traps." You want to go help collect what's in the traps?
Seems like a minor task for someone of my stature, but you did feed me and give me.
Nah, I'm just seeing if you wanted to, cause looks like your friend's passed out on the boat again. Still.
Yeah, I'll go check the traps and deal with.
All right, so you're gonna. What did your thing say 2 for? What is the 2? Oh, +2. Okay. Actually, that should be gone. No, because you have the shield, right?
Yeah.
Because you're in sword and shield mode. Jimmy and Gage, you guys start hearing rustling in the bushes. You guys aren't getting any closer with swinging.
I told you, fat boy, bounce so we can get this thing.
Bounce. Don't talk to me like you know me. Yeah, fucking pig. And over to the fucking bushes, come out and fight like a man, you fucking stupids.
How heavy are you, Gage?
210.
So you see that you say that, and then you could tell that like it's. You guys are actually in. You look around. There's a clearing with meat on the ground too. But in the bushes, it's like they're like speedy. They're running across the. Whatever it is, it's running.
Well, I start bouncing to try to get my weapon.
And how much do you weigh?
190.
What do you think? Would that be dex or would that be strength? We'll roll against each other.
For what? Reaching for the weapon?
To see if the branch breaks.
Well, I would say probably strength. Just a straight. Probably just a straight D20 roll, honestly.
Okay, here's mine. The branch
I'm
is.
just trying to get. I'm just trying to get it to flex enough for me to grab this weapon.
It's getting there. You're almost there grabbing it. Golden roll, sleight of hand. Because you got one good bounce. You're able to grab the knob, the end, like the end pummel piece of your weapon.
Mhm.
So you got a hold of the knob.
Well, while I'm doing it, I'm gonna try to do a quick toss and grab the actual hilt of it.
Is it athletics? Is dexterity, right?
Yep. No. Acrobatics.
All right, roll an acrobatics.
With ease.
Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure check your shit. Yeah, you. So you're able to grab the handle lands perfectly in your hand.
Are we on the same rope?
No.
Alright, I cut my rope.
Are you gently cutting your rope, or are you just swinging like you normally do?
No, I'm just gonna do like a quick, just reach up to it and do a quick slice to try to, just so I don't smack his rope.
All right. Well, you cut it. You land with a plop. The wrestling stops moving.
Alright, I stand up and I start walking.
Gage, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna sit here. Fuck it.
You saw him walk away from you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fuck it. I'm just gonna sit here. I don't need his help.
All right, Ed. So you said you're headed out.
Carefully, because I already heard him laughing.
Okay. So as you're walking, you don't notice any traps inside the inside the camp. So funny, this fucking turtle.
I got the horn dog after me. Unless she found somebody new.
Oh, she's just a slut in general. You see Andal, he's just sitting at the gate. It's like he doesn't want to go out. He looks at you and it's like he kind of gives you that look like, where are you going?
Well, it said hold on. Dread asked me to go to look at the traps to see if they caught any.
So he just points, like he just kind of like does, like he arcs his arm around, like it's around the corner. All right, Jimmy. So Ed's walking out, and you notice that, hey, found the like you found the edge of the camp. Like you could see the fence.
Yeah, I'm just walking back towards around until I find the entrance. I'm just going back to camp.
Yeah. And then hey Ed, take one more step. Roll perception real quick.
Which one, me or him?
Ed. And Jimmy, you can roll it with advantage because you're in the bushes to see if he sees you.
I found the dirt.
Jimmy, you could see him coming out. You recognize him as the one that looks kind of fancy laying on the beach. And Ed, it's like, oh, that's still a bunch of trees.
I'll
What
keep
the
walking
fuck
back.
I'm sitting here probably going, what the fuck is caught? I don't see shit.
Alright. Gage is probably still contemplating. Still mad, just steaming, hanging.
Oh, look, a new one's awake. I say it pretty loudly.
And you definitely hear that, Ed.
I hear it, but I can't see it, right?
Yep.
Well, no, I'm kind of walking back. So
He-
I'm not like making it super obvious that, or I'm not like trying to sneak back.
Because remember, when you look through this jungle, it's just like thick vines and trees.
Yeah. He'll probably just see me just hacking away, clearing a pathway out in front of me.
Eh,
Just
yeah,
so I can-
you see Jimmy, and then he's saying, oh, "Look, another one, cussing up a storm."
Because getting pissed off and getting snagged in the damn vines and where's that retard at? He caught me in one of his stupid traps.
So
I give the same arm effect that the turtle gave.
Give him the what?
he kind of like hooked his arm. He's right around the corner. But Jimmy, you said that loud enough, Andal heard it, and it's like, uh-oh.
There's also a pig in the trees back there too, and there's some rustling in the lead. We might want to get him down before the varmints get him.
Well, why didn't you get him down when you were?
Because he's an asshole. Go ahead. Have fun with it.
So Jimmy, when you walk in, you see Andal is hidden in his shell.
Like right there next to me.
Yep, he's just in his shell hiding.
Does he have any of his little mushrooms around him?
Andal doesn't do mushrooms.
Oh, that's the other. Who's the one that was dealing with the? Which one's Andal? That's the like leader.
Andal's the one that does traps, talks to his pocket.
Okay. Who's the actual retarded one?
Zeus.
That's Zeus. Okay. I just go up and like nudge his shell, like kind of give him a little kick, not like hard, but enough to ring his ears inside it because they're like metal, right?
What, his shell? No. Like
I thought they had,
he's a normal turtle.
he's a normal turtle.
Go ahead and roll an attack. Or are you gonna use the blend in your?
No, it's not with my sword. I'm just gonna kick him. I'm just kicking him.
Well, you
Like,
kicked him, and like the shell vibrated, and you see his head just kind of like. And then he smiles at you, and then he goes back in.
That's catch me in your damn trap.
And then you hear, oh. All right, Ed.
But you did catch another pig.
His head pops out. Meow.
I do a little like that little jump at him.
What, to scare him?
Scare him. Yeah. Although my mom's calling me for some reason.
All right, Ed. What are you doing? Still walking that way?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go find. I guess I'll just backtrack the trail that he made.
Yeah. So, yeah. Gage, you want to roll perception?
Like find it.
It's just a normal D20 roll, because you don't have any stats until I start giving them to you.
He may want to adjust his cog too.
For what?
I think the advantage disadvantage.
Oh. 4. 5 is not gonna do it for you, Gage.
Do what? I don't know.
So your stats. So if you look and see what wisdom is, right? Or see what perception is, it's wisdom. You rolled a 4 and I told you it's a 5. It's not gonna do anything for you. So you just have to edit your sheet.
Edit my sheet for what? I don't get what you're talking about.
So you have a +1 in wisdom.
Okay.
So instead of being a 10, is it
You
12?
took my 12, right, Aaron? Not my 21.
No, it took you 21 because he was technically prone.
Oh yeah, I guess that you're right.
So Gage, you have a 12 or a 13 in your wisdom.
And I cannot edit this.
You should be able to. Not that. You over here on the left hand side, see where it says 10s across the board?
Yeah.
Just click on the 10.
Okay. Okay. You said 12 or 13?
Yeah.
We won't really know our exact number until we go to level up.
Yeah. So just put 12 for now.
That's why I just put even. I think even numbers on all mine, unless it's a negative. Like my -1 in my fucking wisdom.
You don't need it.
I still don't even know what what I actually am because I mean I'm a dexterous person, I guess. Pretty shitty rolls, but
It's so every character is about even.
huh?
Every character is about even.
Oh, about the same.
Yeah.
So like if I have a 14 in dex, if they're a caster, they might have a 14 in wisdom
Yeah.
instead of dex. Okay.
So everyone has at least one high stat. And then I did like random like extra rolls if you had something that was like a 6 or lower. Like a 6 or a 5, I just changed it to the highest die I had. All right. So Ed, you start walking up and you could see the clearing where he's hanging. You can see him hanging.
Well, as of right now, I can't see him.
Okay. But you could see the clearing where like the trees were cut down. And probably there's traps set up there. So basically we're
Over there to the right.
yeah, hold on. I'm starting to yeah, you could start seeing the clearing. There's so many trees here. And Gage doesn't even notice it. He's just kind of like, you know, when you're hanging by your feet, you just kind of swing and sway back and forth. Gage's back is turned to you. So Gage doesn't even notice you. Unless you want to roll perception.
I want to roll perception looking for traps.
Okay. You don't notice shit.
We are horrible at rolling, by the way. We
Yeah.
always roll like shit.
What was it last time we did this? I was rolling 5 or 6 or.
Only
Yeah.
time he rolled good was not to pass out. Constitution saves.
See that shit, Aaron? I'm so stoked.
The torchlight.
Yep.
I have to look into it. Yeah, Ed, your question. Well, you'll figure it out later. So, Ed, you don't. So, we're looking at Gage. You don't recognize his body from the beach. He wasn't on the beach when you woke up. But you can tell he's wearing pretty heavy armor. He's pretty fancy looking. Like you two would be some kind of relation. But as Gage is turning around, when he turns around, you can see his chest plate, and it's the same symbol that's on your ring.
Okay.
So Gage, you can now see Ed.
Mm-hmm. And what is it?
And when you look at Ed, he's a human.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing pretty fancy clothes. Like you could tell he was at one point some kind of important person.
Yep.
His hair's all done up.
What you looking at, you Nancy? Don't get me down.
This interaction's gonna be awesome.
You dare tell me what to do?
I tell you what to do, you fucking little Nancy. I tell everyone what to do. I don't care.
And how'd that end up for you? Upside down in the tree?
I chose to do this.
Alright, Gage, when you look over his shoulder, you can see the bushes right outside the clearing are moving again.
They're moving again.
Yep.
Mm,
It's kind of like the bushes aren't like shaking, but they're moving enough that you could tell that it's something sneaking towards you.
right, I'm gonna throw my arms out like, as it's the taunt, be like, come at me, bro.
Roll intimidation. Ed, you might want to roll against this.
Am I just rolling a,
You're rolling a d20.
What am I rolling? Just another d20?
So Gage with a 16. So you see what I'm saying, Gage?
not a clue what the hell you're talking about.
You rolled a 12.
Yeah.
You rolled a 16.
So, a plus 4.
You're gonna roll. What was it against intimidation?
What was intimidation?
Intimidation is charisma. Ed, you're gonna roll wisdom against. I think it's wisdom, right, Jimmy?
For what?
Is wisdom against intimidation? Wisdom saving throw.
I believe.
I think it is. 'Cause it's usually charisma and wisdom go against each other. Because Gage just trying. He basically said, "Let's go." But I,
Don't forget, I did a war cry in that too. Battle cry, whatever you want to say.
trying to see if it. Yeah, Ed, just roll wisdom. Just see if it scares you.
It's 16 and 16.
Well, it doesn't scare Ed. But Ed, you're like, what the fuck? Why? Why would you do that? Like, it didn't make sense on why he did that at all.
I'd probably just stare at him like, what the fuck?
Well,
You're
if you weren't-
taunting me while you're upside down in a tree.
Well, if you weren't too busy fixing your hair, you Nancy, you would have saw something moving in the bushes that wants to fight.
So when you turn around, Ed, you don't see the bushes moving.
I think the blood's gone to your head.
I always keep it in my penis.
So Gage, the bushes have stopped moving, and you're still hanging upside down, and you're still trying to intimidate Ed.
Well, I might as well stop that. Then. Fuck it. The things in the bushes that scared him, you know. Fucking, the strong survive. Fucking little bitches.
Gage, roll insight.
Just another D20?
Yep.
Or what's insight?
Insight is like you're trying to
The
figure.
wisdom?
Yeah, but you're trying to figure out.
Yeah, if you don't know your wisdom or modifiers, just roll d20
Well,
and he'll tell you what your
Yeah, my
modifier is.
wisdom is a... I have a 1 on it. Oh. It wasn't loading the first time.
Why do you have advantage on still?
I don't fucking know. I
He
don't
rolled
think
a
off.
16.
16 for the first one. With a
So he
19.
hasn't gone to the cog to turn off the auto.
Yeah, go ahead and turn that off, Gage. But with a 19 for an insight
I
check.
Turn it off.
Yeah, go to the cog and then
You'll see advantage, and it'll say
There it is.
advantage toggle.
on the right hand side it says NPC.
Yeah.
You see how it says always roll advantage? Click that.
Oh. Yep. Never roll.
Hit set to
Toggle.
or something.
And then auto
Advanced
roll
toggle?
damage and crit on auto damage when you're.
Then 2 down. See it says don't auto roll damage. Click that one.
Yeah.
Auto roll.
Auto roll.
Yeah.
Auto roll. Okay.
But Gage, you rolled a 19 for an insight check.
An insight check. A 19.
Yep.
And I was at a 6. Or I had a 16.
You had a 16 and you rolled a 19.
So click to the left of it, of insight,
Yeah.
because you're. That's still only going to give him a 2. Does he have something that gives him another 1?
Yeah, he has wisdom of 1. Plus 1.
Yeah, but if you're
Basically, you see the little check mark next to.
he rolled a 15 and then got his plus 1, which gave him a 16.
Yeah.
No, you rolled a. Oh, so
Rolled a 15.
you still rolled. You rolled an 18.
get a +3? Because I thought it only doubled it.
I got a +3, so I
No,
need
it gives
plus
you
one for my
proficient.
wisdom, and then I need a +2 from
It gives
something.
you what?
Gives you your proficiency bonus when you're
Oh,
proficient
yeah,
in it.
Adds your okay, yeah, that's your proficiency bonus. I'm fucking retarded.
So-
Leave me alone.
So Gage, so see the little check marks next to acrobatics and shit like that.
Yeah.
If you click on the little check mark or click on the little box, that's proficiency.
Oh.
So instead of a 4 in your charisma, you know you only had 1 for wisdom.
Yeah. So check mark it for insight, and it gives me an extra 2.
Yes, but change your thing back to 1. That's why you got to pay your charisma.
My charisma back to 1.
Actually, you never rolled charisma at all.
Oh, yeah, I
Roll.
did. Insight. Not insight. Intimidation. Intimidation is your charisma.
Yes, you did have him roll.
And
Alright.
then I had. What was it? A 12. I had a 16.
But it still wouldn't be a 4.
That's a +4, ain't it?
Right now you have
A 12 to a 16.
Right now you have 7 for insight.
I have a 3 for insight.
Yes, but your charisma says +4.
Then what the fuck's my charisma supposed to be? If my intimidation was supposed to be 16 when I roll a 12.
I got you.
That's why I don't like this game mode.
See, there you go. All your shit's fixed.
Alright, so that still just takes me to a 14. Okay. So check mark it.
So yeah, I corrected your stuff for you. But
Okay.
since you did the insight thing, I could give you some information.
Alright, I'm gonna piss real quick. I'll be right back.
Let's see. Gage is this guy. So Gage, if you look at the top bars, you know how you have character sheet, bio, and info.
Yep.
The bio and info gives you some information about yourself. As you do insight checks, wisdom checks, and stuff like that, you start remembering stuff. And Ed, I need to give you some, because you did succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit, I'm a captain. Fuck everybody. So I've been since 12. I must be fucking strong as shit. Or smart. One of the two.
Well, once you figure out what type of class you are,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense on why you're built like the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Now I gotta look at Ed. You ready to get some more information?
I'm just waiting for you to tell me to go.
Let's see. Here's the fashion. There you go. You almost have the full. You probably need to do 2 more checks and you'll have your whole story. Like you see how you have a space, Ed?
Yeah.
That's because there's missing information in between the last part and the top part.
Got it. That makes it a little bit more.
And you see where that last part I just added? It's related to someone else. Alright, so you guys got your information. Ed, what are you gonna do?
Wait, so for this learning stuff, does it automatically I randomly just know I'm a captain now?
Yeah, like something clicked in your brain like, holy shit. It's like you had amnesia.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it clicked, because you don't remember what happened and how you actually got in the tree. So
And I'm back.
only one that does know is Jimmy, but he was
Only
trashed.
one that knows what.
How you guys got stuck in the tree?
Fuck.
I guess I'll try to cut him down.
How are you gonna cut it? You gonna slowly cut it? You gonna?
I guess I tried to just slowly cut the rope at first.
All right. So you cut the rope, Gage. You plop to the ground. The bushes start moving again.
Alright, let's see. At last, give me that. What is he carrying? A knife, a sword?
He's carrying a sword and shield.
Give me that sword.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Alright, well, I'm gonna grab it from this Nancy. Because I'm rushing these fucking bushes. I'm tired of these bushes.
That's a strength check against, unless you're trying to dodge out of the way.
I'd probably dodge out of the way.
Gage, you
You said it's for me strength, so.
strength and then add your dex.
What the fuck?
Oh, Jimmy, did you see that roll?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, these rolls are.
Here, let me. You added one Gage. Well, technically, it would say 3. So that's a hint to do your character sheet. And Ed, you rolled a 11, right? It's actually a 10. But you were able to get out of the way. You just kind of step to the side. Gage eats shit. Gage lands on his face. And Ed, since you dodged Gage,
He forgot to untie his feet and then
a raptor jumped out at the same time. And it misses both of you. But now in the clearing, there's a raptor staring at you. What do you guys do?
Well, kill it, you Nancy, or give me the sword.
God, he's a needy son of a bitch.
Needy.
Alright, Jimmy, just checking. What are you doing in the camp?
I'm sitting by the fire warming up.
Since they're so close to the camp, you do hear them yelling.
Meh.
Like, you could hear Gage just talking shit to that other guy.
I just yelled, "Told ya!"
Alright,
I
Ed.
would have left him there.
Alright, Ed, there's your answer.
oh, sorry, I'm laughing too hard.
What do you do?
Did you see what Brandon Richardson posted?
No.
Oh, it says, "Give me the yeet, boys, and free my soul. I want to get tossed in a fucking hole and drift away." Oh, that one made me laugh.
But I can tell this guy looks like a fighter, right?
Yes, you could tell that he is well equipped to attack.
I guess I would hand him my weapon.
Would you hand him the sword and the shield?
Yeah, I'd hand it to him as a set. Knowing what it is.
Here, Gage, I'm going to add it.
Okay.
Was it this one? I think it was this one. Let's check. Yes, it's this one. Basically, you'll see the stats for it.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to click on the picture to see it.
What the fuck do you mean click on the picture?
I added a note to you.
Oh.
See, you wouldn't know. You know, when you get it, you just know it's a sword and shield.
Yeah.
So you're gonna treat it as a sword and shield.
I have no clue what fucking note you're talking about now.
You should have a note on your list of journal in your journal that says charge blade.
Okay.
See it?
Okay, but I don't know anything about this.
Only thing you know is the sword and shield. So you can click on it and you can see that what the sword and shield is damage and AC. So basically, I will give you each one of you get an opportunity attack because this thing missed and it slid across the ground and kind of fell over.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do?
Well, what distance is it away?
Well, Gage, you would be, since you missed and fell on your face, you're right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't have,
Okay.
neither one of you would have to move. Or Ed, if he was going to do an unarmed attack, he'd have to move. But
Okay, well, since he handed me the sword and shield, I'm gonna go ahead and take the sword, and I'm gonna lunge forward at it.
roll an attack.
But on this thing, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do for the attack.
You just roll an attack, which is a D20. And I'm guessing you're going to be strength. Because you're trying to basically shove this sword straight through this guy's face.
Right? Is that it? Is there a strength roll?
It's not a strength save, but you still hit it with that.
Oh. What the hell am I supposed to be rolling?
Strength?
That's what I just did. I rolled it. You got me fucking confused now.
You rolled strength save.
Oh, strength right there.
Yeah, but you didn't add your modifier like you were supposed to.
I don't. This is why I hate playing this game mode. I don't know what the fuck you mean by my modifier.
Oh my god, just add your strength. He said, oh, you have a +1, so
That's
you either have
+2.
11 or +2. Okay, you have a 14 or 15.
You have a 14 or 15 in the strength.
It's not complicated. You make it way too complicated, Gage.
But you were able to hit him, so roll damage. So 1d6. 1d6 plus. Or is it just straight up 1d6? So you slice at this guy and you cut its little arms off.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see it. So Ed, what do you want to do? It's struggling to get up now because it can't use its arms to pick itself up.
I guess I'd just come up and punch.
All right, go ahead and eat it.
Looks about right. I slap it.
Did your modifier? I don't think you've ever done a. Oh, it's still a 0. Okay. Yeah, you go up to swing at it, and you notice that it tries biting at you. And you basically pull your fist back when you do it. But Jimmy, when they cut the arms off, you hear that thing screech.
Damn it, they're actually killing it.
So I'm gonna roll to see if this guy stands up. He's gonna spend his actions trying to stand up, and he does not. He's still fumbling around on the ground trying to get up.
I'm gonna laugh that he almost got bit. Let me show you how it's done. I'm gonna walk over, shove the shield into its face, and down slash its throat.
Okay, roll an attack.
Oh, that's fucking shit.
So you push your shield up against it and you hit your shield instead.
Okay.
All right, Ed, your turn.
I'm probably laughing back at his failure and then trying to punch him.
Jimmy,
I really
definitely
can't do anything else.
Jimmy, you definitely hear the laughing. Because I'm guessing Ed is laughing hard as shit. You gonna try attacking again?
I like sevens. If this is Vegas, I'd be doing great.
You punch Gage's shield.
I'm probably laughing too hard.
Well, with us both hitting the shield, that should have caused some type of damage to it.
No, because this. So
We
when
both
you
hadn't forced to the shield.
wait, if you
The shield into the.
fine, roll 1d4. Damn. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can stand up. All right, he's on his feet now. All right, Gage, it's your turn. That was my action trying to get up. Jimmy's just sitting there hanging out.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack it again and try to fucking kill it. Or should I yeet it? I'll just try to cut off its head.
Roll your damage.
Or was it?
1d6. Jesus, he critted again.
He rolls good damage, but shitty to hit.
Yeah.
He is looking bloodied. Now he's missing an eye. Jimmy, this thing is screeching. It's like it's that like chalkboard,
So we're just sitting here torturing it.
essentially. Ed, your turn.
Well, hope it's that pig dying.
Is there any roll to see if there's some way for me to attack this besides flailing at it? Like a little.
Would you like to look around on the ground, see if there's a stick or something?
I guess that'd be what? Perception or a nature?
Yep, perception. Unless you want to roll nature. Whatever one's better.
They're the same. Nope.
You don't see shit, so...
I see blood.
You do see its arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it with its own arm.
I mean, it's gonna have claws, so. It's gonna have some type of
Add, whatever your roll is. So roll it.
Would it be just a strength roll?
Yep.
I can't roll for shit.
And since you were using its hand, it was a +3.
A 7.
Yeah, it still doesn't hit, but basically you...
Yeah, but I'm saying he keeps rolling 7.
Yeah, no. Since he used the claw has a +3 to hit.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
you just skin some scales off of him.
yeah, but like he's pointing out, that would be my third 7 in her.
And I get 4.
You should go hit the lottery, dude. 777. So he is going to attack since he's getting beat up by Gage. He's going to attack Gage with a bite, which is a +3, does not hit. He tries to bite you and breaks his teeth.
So it's useless now.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's your turn. It looks bloody. It's
Can I just grab its neck and fucking twist? Fucking hurt it and kill it? 'Cause I'm surprised I didn't kill it off the last time I tried to strike it.
so it's going.
Got an eyeball.
So that's gonna be a double action.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna have to grapple it,
Yep.
which is a dex. Or would you say strength? Knowing Gage, knowing your character, you probably run into it. Try to pin it on the ground.
I mean, I got the shield, so might as well.
So it'd be a strength check, and we'll oppose. You were able to knock it down.
And so I'm on top of it then, right, with the shield?
Yep.
So then, since I'm already fucking having an advantage right there, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab that throat and squeeze.
So roll an advantage strength check.
How do I do that?
You toggle advantage at the top.
Oh, yep.
Roll strength. You hit. We'll say strangulations. Because you're probably grabbing this thing pretty hard.
And it probably has a small neck, depending on what size it is.
Ed, you
So
can.
I'm able to tackle it.
Ed, do you want to assist?
Sure.
Since you saw this happen, he tackled this thing, has it pinned down with the shield. He's gonna go and try to grip it. What are you gonna do?
You can always cheer me on. You know, toss a coin to your Witcher type situation.
Is he like pinning down the head or the bottom?
He's trying to break its neck,
And its teeth are broken, so its teeth are
and broken teeth, no arms,
missing an eyeball.
and its eyeballs all tore up.
And now it's pinned to the ground by a big, heavy dude in armor.
I guess I'd just go for the throat with the claw in my arm.
So Gage has a hold of it on his throat.
Yeah.
Basically, he has
hold
it.
the throat.
He has the head up,
Oh.
like for you to strike it. So roll
Okay. I'll go for the
roll an advantage attack.
Or if you hit me,
strength.
Yeah.
Nine.
If you said my name, sorry.
No.
I was thinking of Pitt.
So with the 9, you cut it open a little bit, but not
You
enough
get an
to.
11.
No, it's
Because
a
the claw has a +3.
6 plus 3. It's a 9.
Oh, never mind. We're going off the highest number.
Yeah.
Yep. Forget what I said. I forgot about that.
So you cut it a little bit. But this thing looks sad. Like it wants to be let go. It wants to run away. What he's going to do, he's going to... Who did that? He's going to try the whimper to see if you guys sympathize with him. So that's going to be a wisdom check. Doesn't affect Gage.
No, I'm still smiling. Because you gotta think, the stronger force wins.
Alright, Ed. Are you sympathizing with this raptor?
Why would I?
You gotta roll a wisdom check. He tried whimpering to get out of this. You still beat him. You could care less.
It attacked me.
Alright, Gage.
Right,
Finish this thing off.
since my strangling ain't working, and I have the advantage over top of him, I'm just gonna take the sword and just slit its throat.
Alright.
That shouldn't be much, right?
Advantage attack. So advantage strength check. Alright, roll your 1d6. Alright, you slit its throat and it just splurts. It shoots you in the face. You're now Like it was enough spray that like it covered both of you.
I'm just gonna smile and laugh, and then stand up.
Right. So what are you guys gonna do?
Sigh. I'm covered in blood.
Gage, so you see him? He kind of like did the pouty kid thing, like, "Oh, I'm dirty now."
You, Nancy, was this your first time seeing blood?
Fuck, I don't know.
Actually, it wouldn't be because the camp has a. Remember, you walked through a blood streak right at the gate.
Oh yeah,
That random baboon you ate.
and my leg.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a piece of advice. Remember, the strongest force wins, and that was us today. And I'm just gonna crack the biggest, wickedest smile.
All right. So what are you guys doing? Actually, let's go to Jimmy. I'll be right back.
I was about to say, it's been him a minute.
All right, Jimmy. So when you came back to camp, all the turtles were sleeping, but Andel. But the stew is still stewing.
Okay.
So what are you doing? Hearing all the yelling and the screeching, the laughing.
I'm still sitting by the fire.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, but I don't trust the stew after last night.
So basically, are you like just sitting there whittling, or are you just waiting?
Yep. Just kind of waiting, chilling, maybe taking a nap.
All right. All right, that's kind of easy. All right, Gage and Ed. What are you gonna do with that body? You gonna leave it,
Body?
or are you gonna what? Basically, what are you guys gonna do?
Loot the core.
I was about to say, do either of us know how to?
Technically. So you're. Do you wanna try?
If these claws are a +3, I'm gonna be taking all the claws. Since I have a sword, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the feet off, the hands off.
So the way this works is that you're gonna roll. Each one of you are gonna roll a survival check.
So just for me, what's a survival?
Just click on. You could just roll a d20, Gage.
Well, it's wisdom. I have one wisdom.
Oh yeah.
I care more about the blood on my clothes, apparently.
I bask in the glory of the blood.
So Gage, you successfully cut it open. Roll a d20. So Gage, you got a Velociprey Fang.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I need to give you. I'm gonna give you a note that you can write in.
Yep, I was about to say, you got something for me to write in?
So you got one Fang. And
Oh, mysterious notes?
yes, that's your mysterious note. You can edit it and change it to whatever you want to. You guys wanna? I can give you one more skin, each one of you.
What?
Guys can roll survival again.
I really don't like the blood on my clothes.
Ed cuts into it and just squirts him again. He's like, "Well, I'm done. Fuck this."
You said I got a fang, or what
Yes.
is it called?
Fang.
But the fangs are all broken.
Yes, but you're able to get one good, like pristine enough to take.
Raptor fang, and you want me to roll survival again?
Yep.
Oh, what? What the fuck?
So you
I guess I'm done.
basically you cut both you like you were able to cut it up to have meat.
Mm-hmm.
So you could put raptor meat on there.
Okay.
We'll say 2, 4, 6 pieces of raptor meat. But Ed fucked up twice, so it's basically destroyed.
Well, you said 6?
Yeah. Unless you want to just get 2, and Ed, you can have the 4. But you're probably more worried about getting bloodied, so you probably didn't take
Yeah.
any of it.
I can take it all, probably.
All right. So what do you guys do now?
So the body's pretty much done. That's just,
Yeah, it's done. I mean, you could probably grab some bones, but that's about it.
okay. So now this stew that you were talking about.
You don't.
How close are we to this?
You want to roll perception to see if you can look around, see if you notice anything?
Because I was about to say, because depending on what the stew's made out of, and if we're close to the camp, are we able to smell it?
All right. So I'm gonna roll. You're gonna give me north, south, east, or west, and 1 to 25 is north. 26 to 50 east. 51 to 75 south. 76 to 100 is west. That's which way the wind's blowing. The wind is blowing from the north, so you would not smell it.
Okay.
But roll perception to see if you can see anything, Gage. Ed knows. Let's double check your thing. So, Jimmy, you're... Alright, Gage, you could see that there's a wall. But, Jimmy, you heard Ed, he's swearing up a storm. You're like... you just hear him swearing.
Okay.
Just to let you know, you hear him swearing. You just hear not again.
Alright.
Like you recognize that's Ed's voice. Hey Gage, so you notice there's a wall,
Mm-hmm.
like an encampment wall. Brings you back to your glory days. Here we go. Roll a wisdom check. Since you're reminiscing. Higher than 15? Yes, it is. I'm gonna give you more information in your thing. So Ed, you're looking over at Gage, and you see that he just kind of has like a. It's not the smile that he's been giving you. He has that perk of like.
This is what we live for.
No, it's like he feels at home. Like he's comfortable now. When you see him notice the fence. By the way, Gage, no one knows anything about each other, their backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'd probably tell him, come on, let's go. Let's get back inside so we get away from all these raptors. I can go get clean.
And you guys do hear the screeching of more raptors. But Gage intimidated it enough to not attack.
And plus, I mean, we just covered in blood. Alright, so for this new note you gave me,
Yeah.
this person looks like, right?
You could guess who it is.
Well, might as well guess at one person.
Unless you want to do an insight check.
Go ahead.
Wait, are you gonna do it stealthily? Because Ed's walking away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna do an insight check on Ed stealthily, or
Is stealthily gonna give me a chance? That's the question.
well, I don't think Ed's more worried about his clothes, so you would have an advantage on stealth,
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. I'll stealth check him.
just so he doesn't get the perception of you're staring at him.
Yeah, I'll check him.
All right, roll
Can we just
roll the stealth.
stealth or D20 because I have nothing with stealth yet.
Roll 2d20s.
Oh, that was shit.
So let's see. So okay, with 11.
No, 11, so that's 1.
Or
No, it'd be
a
two.
10. A 10, sorry. See that 9?
Yeah.
So a 10. So you got a plus 1. You're pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, you're pretty sure.
Now, do I know?
Actually, roll an insight. Sorry, because that was your stealth. He's not gonna, unless you want to roll against that, Ed.
Well, he's too worried. He doesn't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
And say you can roll perception with disadvantage. Or you not, or you just don't care. You just want to get clean.
I probably just want to get clean.
All right, roll insight gauge with advantage.
Oh, with an advantage.
Yeah, roll again. It's him.
It's him?
It's him.
Okay. Now, does he know he's he?
No,
Okay.
or yeah, you wouldn't know that.
So then how should I... Shit, now how should I play that out?
I don't know. But you did roll. I guess you did. You'll have to figure it out later. Ed has an idea because of stuff.
Huh? Came in real broken on that one.
Basically, you and Ed just have to have a conversation because Ed knows things and you know things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know nothing.
Yeah, Jimmy's basically a loner.
I don't know. I heard you knew a lot about eternity.
About a what?
He got told about the turtle. Jeremy ratted about you and the
Did you
turtle.
have sex with a turtle?
No, I thought about making turtle stew.
No, we're talking about Felicia.
I know. Making her to turtle stew.
Making her insides turtle stew.
Alright, well, since I incited this guy, I'll go ahead and just throw my arms out.
He's walking walking away from you.
Yep.
So if you
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm a pretty loud guy.
yes. Well, you're clanking along, so kind of hard not to hear that. All right, Jimmy. So
Alright,
you
so as soon as, hold on real quick. As soon as I notice who he was, I'm just gonna yell, Prince, or Your Highness, or whatever you want to say.
Ed, how do you react? Jimmy, you definitely hear that.
Yeah, it's a
Interesting.
loud fucker.
Do I know you?
Do you know me? Well, let me read this real quick.
So Ed, you look down at your ring, and you look back up at Gage. Would you like to do an insight check or a history check?
Probably insight.
All right.
God, I rolled a 7 again.
So,
Luckily, I had.
so when you look at your ring, you look at his chest, you're like, maybe he works for me. He probably does, or he stole the armor. You don't really know. But Gage, do you go to one knee and like do the whole night thing? Like,
Hold on, let me read that again.
this is
Yeah, might as well.
so he does go to a knee in front of you when he says Your Highness.
Oh wait, I do know that.
You
Forgot
do,
about that.
you do, but you don't know like who like who serves you, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know if this guy actually works for you or he's a thief that stole shit.
Pretending to get close.
Yeah. But with him reminiscing about the fort, you're like, maybe.
And then, can I do like a memory check on him? By, because I mean,
You want to do
he's
it?
the captain of the Second Warriors.
So you want to do a history check? If you want to
What
do,
will that assist him?
depending on if you tell him anything,
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell him.
you could tell him
Me, whatever my name is, I don't even know what the fuck my name is.
you don't have a name, you don't know it, but you can
No.
tell him what, like you could tell him what you did, and
Okay, so I might as well.
so Jimmy, you can hear all this shit because Gage is not not a quiet person.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna spit out that captain of the Second Warriors, served the royal family since I was 12.
You-
Your
I think you missed.
bodyguard.
I think you missed a piece of that.
What?
You're a second warrior of what? Captain of the second warriors of.
Yeah, that's what I said. Captain of the Second Warriors, the watershed.
No, I didn't hear the watershed part.
Oh, I didn't say watershed. I just figured he knew where he was from. But, yeah, from a watershed. That'll be like, it's me, your bodyguard, your protector.
So he tells you this. You can roll an insight check to see if he's lying.
Oh, your insights suck.
He has a +3 in insight.
Yeah, but he keeps rolling a 3 or a 7. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah. So you look at him and you're like, oh shit. He actually works for me. Like, you realize that
It's-
he actually works.
I don't remember your name, but I don't remember mine.
Don't worry, I don't either. Yeah. I don't need a name right now.
And I'm going to give you a small piece of information, Ed. I think. Yeah, I'm going to give you a small piece of
Like, give
information.
us both a small piece, or
I'm going to give you one too because it helps to develop the love. Not really, Gage.
no?
Where did I leave off with you? Gage, when you see yours,
Yep.
so basically, yours. So, Ed, you remember that he helped you set up the last two parts of your.
Okay.
He's the one that encouraged you to do it.
Sounds about right.
And then Gage, if you read yours.
Yep, that's what I'm doing now. Oh, yeah. That makes sense, 'cause, I mean, I did get more, Okay. It makes sense, because that's the type of character I am. The mighty survive.
Alright. So what are you guys gonna do now? Since Jimmy's just chilling, taking a nap, but he, elf ears. He hears all.
And I guess pretty much this all dawned on me. It's like, well, I remember now. That small band of trader tribe. We killed them all.
And then, so is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna give a wicked smile. But yes, we did show them the true power.
I forgot what kind of character you are.
Chaotic evil.
Oh, so I was talking about Ed.
Chaotic
Oh.
good.
Well, that's not good.
The advantage of chaotic, you can get away with a little bit of, as long as
Yep.
it's for the greater good.
He's what? Gage is what?
Chaotic evil. Just like someone else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, Jimmy, so Zeus starts waking up. He sees you and just smiles.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you guys can keep walking in.
As we're carrying on, Reverend.
All right, bye, hon. Oh, hey Zeus.
He just nods.
You got any more of those explosive mushrooms?
He just shakes his head no. But he does point.
Damn.
He points at the stew. And raises his eyebrow. Like, he raises his eyebrows like.
I didn't want to eat them.
So,
I wanted to throw them.
So Ed, you're walking up and you can see Zeus is sitting there, Jimmy's conversing with Zeus. You can see Zeus pointing at the thing.
Yep. Skipping breakfast.
So
So did you get Pig down, or is he still out there? I obviously see him walking into camp.
so Gage, you
Oh,
Gage,
damn the pig.
you hear him say that.
Hear him say that?
Yeah.
Wait, do I know who he's talking to?
He asked Ed if he cut down the pig. He called you a pig before he left.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and step in front of the prince. And I'm gonna be like, who are you to dare fucking speak to the prince, you fucking servant?
I just kind of look both around. I don't see no prince. No prince in mine.
Actually, I forgot what yours was, Jimmy. And whether
Oh,
whether or not you would call him that.
I don't know who he is.
No, I'm talking about. I'm gonna read your background real quick.
I say, but from what I know, I don't know anything.
Yep. Jimmy is right. He doesn't know anything. But you do know that he's from Watershed, the prince, or the number 4. When you investigated his body,
Yeah.
you do know he's from Watershed.
Well, hearing Gates say it. Also.
Yeah.
Yep. no prince here. Ain't no prince of mine. And we're not in watershed. But if you're hungry, Piggy, there's some slop over here for you.
Gage, he's talking to you.
Oh, hold on. Okay, let's see. Talking to me about that?
He's calling you a pig, and there's some slop. Actually, roll a D100, Gage, to see if you're hungry or not.
A D100?
Yeah.
All I'm telling you is there's food over here if you're hungry.
You could eat, but you're not really hungry.
Okay.
Like you're hungry, but you know, you just don't know if you want to eat the, like MREs. You don't know if you want to eat the MRE in there.
Mm-hmm.
Roll another.
What keeps happening to my shit whenever I push away from it?
I don't know. Roll another D100 and see if it smells good. This is where it got Ed yesterday, or the last weekend. Hope it's not above 50, Gage. Gage, it smells good.
It can't smell that good if it's above a 50.
It still smells good. It smells better than what you had in your camps.
Okay. Well, still, I gotta comment on this motherfucker calling me. Well, I don't really care if he called me a pig. I don't care. But, I mean, it's not like some scrawny little servant boy will be able to best me.
So, looking at Jimmy.
Yep.
Jimmy's not really scrawny.
Well, he's 190.
Jimmy is ripped. He's not wearing a shirt. And what he is wearing is like tattered leather. You know, like Conan the Barbarian. Not as big, but he's... Like in the sun, he'd glisten.
I ain't
Oh,
no
so he's like
Twilight.
Yeah, I was about to say, so he's a Twilight?
No, I'm saying from like the sweat and everything. Like you look at Jimmy, you're like, he's actually been in some combat. Like he's got little scars and everything, and a little swole.
I'll be right back.
Alright, so Dread's starting to come awake. Peeks his head out and then sees Gage. Gage, actually roll perception first to see if you notice anything weird in the camp.
That's actually been one of the first things I fucking did.
No, there's no... I didn't get no... I just did. Okay. Alright.
Yeah, I thought about doing something while they were out there. I was gonna set traps in the entryway.
So Gage, you see like...
Yeah.
So Gage, you see like... It looks like rocks. Big giant rocks. And... Basically you see a head pop out of one.
Oh, I'm gonna jump back a little bit. But, oh shit! What is that? I'm just gonna point the sword at it.
So Dread pops his head out, looks at you, Jimmy, and goes, "Hey, you guys found another one."
Yeah. He smells though.
He takes a big whiff. High or low, Gage?
High or low, and he takes a big whiff. I'll go low.
He doesn't smell that bad. He just looks at you.
You weren't hanging in a tree by him.
Oh, you stepped in another trap, didn't you?
No. I
Where-
don't remember.
Where is Where'd Andel go?
I don't know. He was outside the gate. Or right inside the gate. He's hiding from me.
Gage, how,
Netflix gives Adam Sandler a deal for 4 new movies.
Gage, how do you react to this?
What was that?
How do you react to this?
What happened?
He's sitting here.
I'm listening.
He's just talking. Jimmy's talking. You come to realize he's talking to a turtle.
I'm gonna do a turtle.
Like you see a bunch of big rocks laying around.
But do I know of this species?
Would you like the real history?
I feel like as a captain of a second warriors, someone that's, been with the royal family, I should know some stuff.
Yeah, I guess because no one's really telling anyone anything.
Well, the issue is we had a shipwreck and we don't remember anything. So
Gage,
we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Gage doesn't even know there was a shipwreck.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that.
You
He was
just
randomly here and I was in a tree.
you're on a boat and now you were in a tree.
I don't think I remember even being in a boat.
No.
You wouldn't,
Nope, yeah. I don't remember being in a boat.
because Jimmy got drunk and decided to carry you back.
Why did I pick him?
Probably because he was wearing shiny armor, thinking that you can, with your back and like,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah. All right, so what you guys doing?
What are we doing?
Like Gage, how do
I
you
was gonna
how are you gonna react to this? So he stands up. He's almost looking you dead in the eye, on how tall he is.
the turtle?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cleaning myself in the water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh and say we can make a lot of turtle soup with these ones. But it's not like a sinister laugh, it's just a chuckle, My sense
So
of
Dredd looks at you guys. So, Gage, when you say that, you see another turtle. He's laying on his back. You see him kind of peek his head around Dredd to look at you, and he smiles at you.
dread.
Dredd is the one that was talking to you.
Oh, the one that's standing up.
Yeah, you don't know his name's Dredd, but
Yeah, okay.
you notice another turtle. He just stretches his head around Dredd and smiles.
I'm pointing back. That was creepy.
So you see him, he starts wiggling. Like, you look at him, you see him, he's wiggling his fingers. And you can see a blue mushroom shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So Dredd turns to you, Jimmy. He's like, so do we have to kill this guy or what?
Not yet.
Because if
Maybe a pig and smell a little bad, but
he hurts our family, he will be hung and gutted.
I will help you. I always like a good hanging in the morning.
How do you react to that, Ed?
No, my bad.
Wait, for what?
So Gage said that he wants to make turtle soup. Dredd just said, do we have to kill him? If he hurts our family, I'm gonna hang him from a tree and gut him.
And I said I would help, and I like a good hanging in the morning.
I'd probably let out that long what do you call it? That long exasperated sigh, like, oh god, it's too early for.
You alright over there, Princey? First time getting blood on you?
No, I just don't like the stain.
So, Gage, you start hearing clanging of an anvil.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a blacksmith there.
Yeah.
And then you notice another turtle comes out of her shell and looks, sees Jimmy, goes back in her shell real quick. Jimmy, this is Spatula that saw you. And then she realized,
Just give her a little wink whenever she looked at me.
and then she realized it was Jimmy. Comes out of the shell, and then so when you look at her, you see that she grabs that mushroom that Zeus just made, cuts it up and puts it in the pot. You know, she's not stirring the pot. She's wiggling her fingers, and you could see the spoon moving.
Magic. Sorcery. Okay, well, I mean, as a royal, part of the royal guard, I'm guessing. They should have sorcerers, so magic should be anything new.
But it is a turtle.
I mean, yeah, technically, and just straight, the species alone, if I don't know anything about them, should be new, so. The fact that they're talking, should be like, what?
So Zeus gets up and goes back to his tent. He comes back with a jug. Sits down at the fire. Starts drinking it. Jimmy, he tries to hand it to you.
I take it and do a fake swig. And then go to hand it to
Do,
Piggy.
do deception.
Yeah, but let's see if
Actually,
you can
no.
do that.
Would it be a sleight of hand?
Do an advantage of deception because Zeus thinks you're actually gonna drink it. Because you haven't deceived him before. Yeah, he didn't even notice. He thought you drank it, so he's just smiling at you like, "Yeah, is it good?" Raising his eyebrows.
Yeah. And I just give him a smile and go to hand it to Gage.
Gage.
Huh?
He went to hand you a drink.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take it, and since, I've been a warrior since I was 12.
Actually, roll. You need. I guess you wouldn't like Jimmy, so roll insight to see if he actually see if you notice if he took a swig or not, or perceptions. Sorry.
Perception?
Yeah. He didn't. He looked like he took a swig. He looked like
Oh,
he.
okay. No, that started at 10.
So you saw. It looked like Jimmy took a swig.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ed. What are you doing?
I'm looking for a new weapon since I just lost one. Oh, they got the blood off.
All right, Gage. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, you have the bottle in your hand.
Well, what is this? I'm gonna take a sniff. Sniff a Rooney.
Roll D100. So it smells like a weedy beer.
It's their homegrown ale.
Fuck it. I should have pretty much of an iron stomach by now.
You throw it back.
I'll take a swig off of it. I'm not gonna throw it back. Take a swig. Always gotta be in control,
Roll an actual D100 to see if you like it or not. You-
Oh, you love it.
Yeah, you think this is a pretty good beer. I would think it'd entice you enough to take another swig. Or would you like to do a conscious check to see if you actually want to go for a second swig?
Fuck it, I'll just take this second swig. I don't feel like rolling.
All right. And Dread looks at you, is like, "Where did you guys get that?"
I just give him a smile.
He looks over at Zeus, and Zeus is smiling. Oh shit. Do you know where did you get that from? He's looking at you, Gage.
Oh, there's a servant over there.
I'm guessing he had it on him. All right. Do not take anything Zeus gives you. And he points over to the turtle that's sitting there smiling, laying down.
Okay.
Gage, you just realized that you just got that drink from Jimmy that got it from Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
You say anything?
I'm back. Well, what's done is done. What's done is done. There's no mistake.
The real question is whether or not he's slurring his word.
No, that's the thing.
Actually,
And
Gage,
since I've been a warrior since I was 12, means I probably started drinking.
roll a Constitution save real quick.
Me?
Mm-hmm. So you're not slurring your words, but you are drooling a little bit.
Did I get anything to my constitution, or is it just staying
Where the fuck did it go? You're still slurring, or you're not. You're still drooling. +1. So 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you did see Ed go over to a tent. You just gonna...
Oh, I didn't know if you were done speaking.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna go stand next to the tent. Fuck it.
So
I
you...
hand it off and go to the tent.
Who'd you hand it off to?
First turtle. The closest turtle, which is blue one.
So it would've been Dread. So Dread takes that, takes a whiff and goes, oh, son of a bitch.
I'm just sitting over there laughing.
He goes over, he's gonna go talk to Zeus. So when you walk over to where Ed's at, you look in and they're not good weapons, but there are weapons in here. All kinds of variety. And Ed, do you want to do another check to see if you can find out what weapon you have?
Yes.
Let's see, let's go back to weapons. Weapon list. There we go. Alright, I gotta add Gage to this. So you can see all the weapons that are in here. You should have another note that says what kind of weapons there are. Alright, where's the recall? Alright. You gotta roll higher than 15. Wisdom check or an insight check. And you rolled a shit. So I gotta give you more information too. So you're looking at the weapons and you see the Magnus staff. And that, like, that weapon looks like that's mine. You feel like you can have that as your weapon. What do you do?
I asked. Crap, what's that trigger?
Purity?
Oh yeah, Purity. For permission to take the Magnus staff and say that I had passed on the charge blade to the gentleman.
She does the whole like kind of like you gave away my weapon type grunt.
I offer her the raptor arm.
Her eyes light up.
Of course she was.
You give it to her?
Yes.
So she's okay. So she takes it and she starts beating the shit out of the anvil again with it, with like some raptor claw, like the raptor arms there, and she's like going to town making that into a weapon.
Yay! I made the blacksmith happy.
Made someone happy, right? Ed, I'm adding your stuff right now.
Okay.
There you go. Alright, so what are you guys gonna do? Gage,
Huh?
what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I already got a weapon, so.
So you looked at the weapons and didn't see anything?
Well, I might as well look at the weapon. So.
I get-
so we roll insight.
I know, I gave you the list of weapons. But if you want to roll to see...
Yeah, but I don't know what weapons my character is usually supposed to be using. As a warrior, I feel pretty much like anything could work.
You think you're just a warrior. You are mistaken,
That's all
sir.
it says. That's all I got so far. But I'll go ahead and look around the room, see if anything looks fancy.
Ooh. Hey, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
You got your whole entire background.
Yeah, I know what I am again. Kind of.
You just don't have a name
I
yet.
don't know who I am.
But there's your whole entire background now. And Gage, if you want to, you can roll an insight or wisdom check
For what?
to see if you want a different weapon or not.
I'll do an insight since I'll have a better insight.
$19. Let me double check your shit. Essentially, the weapon that you have
Yeah.
is the one that you want.
Oh, okay.
You could.
Mhm.
Let's see, there's another one. I don't think there is another one for this. I mean, you can. So you see another set of a sword and shield set.
Mhm.
It looks different than the one you got. Yours
Mhm.
kind of has like you could put the sword in the shield.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it.
What does the other one look like?
It's just a sword and shield with no place to put the sword.
Uh,
Like a basic sword and shield set, and then you got a set that you're wearing has.
they could connect like Legos.
All right, Jimmy. Since you're a sneaky character, what are you doing?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Literally.
While they're in there, I'm gonna talk to find what's his name? The main guy, the trap guy.
Andel.
Yeah. Is he still over here in this shelf?
Maybe.
Right here.
Maybe. Yeah, he's still hiding in a shell, thinking that you're gonna beat him up.
I go down and whisper to him. Got it. Traps.
So his head immediately perks out, like you see the face like a happy kid.
Like smoking a walk.
And then he kind of points at the ground, like trying to say, like, here.
Right here. And I point like at my feet.
All right, let's see. Because he wants to, but the issue is, can he set the trap? Yep, he sets it.
Give him a thumbs up.
And then he basically takes some leaves and covers it up.
I come back to the. I'm gonna come back. Come down here.
So Gage, you see the turtle walk. You see another turtle walk back. He just plops down, takes a bowl from the thing. This turtle's a little odd. He has like a tool belt around him. Like he's wearing like a tool, like Tim the Tool Man Taylor tool belt around his waist.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm just saying that's what you noticed about this turtle. You didn't notice him earlier.
And I still don't notice them. I don't care about them.
All right, Ed and Gage, what are you guys doing now?
Let's see. I got the weapon that I like now.
Yep.
No,
No,
fucking
the-
rip my leg open.
you got the weapon you like. Do you go back to the fire and sit, or
Sorry, I'm getting my character confused. I almost said, no, I go sit on the beach and listen to the... On character.
yeah? So if you read the captain's log, Ed, it should make sense now. Should make sense on who wrote it and about other characters.
The new Skyline, have any of y'all seen it?
Huh?
The new Skyline?
Car?
PCR? Yeah. R36.
No.
Clean.
And so what are you guys doing? Because I know Jimmy hid. So, hey Ed, so Dredd walks up to you and tells you, hey, so we put up we put up a bulletin board of stuff that we need to get for the camp. And he just kind of motions to where it's at. Basically, it's sitting right here.
I'll probably go over to look at it.
So Jimmy, when you walked over here by Felicia's tent, you look at, you know that they made a raft.
Yeah.
And you look over at it, and there's a guy passed out on on the raft. You're like, hey, this is the guy from earlier.
Yeah. Speaking of, where's he at?
Like actually where he's at?
Yeah. Like,
TDY somewhere. Yeah, but when you look at him, you see that he's drooling, like he passed out.
fucking lightweights. I know what he had.
And Jimmy, you do hear the smacking.
I knew.
I mean,
Sit there and laugh.
so Ed, you could see the adventure board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put it in everyone's thing once they go up and look at it, but Gage, roll Constitution save. Okay. You're safe for now. Alright. So what are we doing, guys?
Hey, I know where. Well, I don't know. How bad did we butcher that?
Only thing you got was a fang and meat.
Yeah, about that. I got 6 things of meat.
But Gage, you start to notice that you're drooling real bad.
It happens. Gonna wipe my face and go on.
Roll perception. Okay, you don't notice them staring at you. Alright, so what are you guys doing?
I go over and inspect the fishing rods that are over here.
Like over at the ship?
At the raft, yeah.
Yeah, they're not well built, but some of them have huge hooks on it. Some of them had little hooks.
Grab one with some medium hooks, and do we have any extra meat laying around?
Remember, they have a store tent. Probably find something of use.
Yeah, I'll go to the store tent and see if I can't find something for bait. I'm just gonna fish while they fuck around.
Roll investigation then.
Hold on, gotta get back to my character sheet. What? Looking at Facebook. Oh, 9.
Let's double check your thing. I don't think you've rolled that before.
I just have a 1 to intelligence, and I only got 2 proficient skills right now.
So when you look in there, you can see basically it's got a variety. It's got meat. It's got a bucket of worms just crawling around. You can grab mushrooms in there if you wanted to.
I'll just grab some worms. I'm gonna throw it on a hook and just throw it out there, see what happens.
Okay, so Ed, what is your plan? What is your plan of action? You're the only one that's noticed the board.
There's a board.
Stop.
It's like a makeshift bulletin board. It's just a couple of wood
Move, Pixie.
that link these two huts together. So what do you do, Ed?
I'm probably trying to remember if that colossal prey that we killed would be draggable back to camp for the hide and the claws.
No, you guys just you destroyed it. You know
They did it? Okay.
you murdered it.
Well, that's why I was thinking about it. That's what I was trying to remember. I know I cared more about the blood on me, and I said, fuck it,
Yeah, you just kind of like whacked at it with a hatchet, and blood was just getting everywhere.
They do want raw meat.
Yeah. So, what's your plan of action?
Dread was the one that I was.
Oh, you're talking to Dread?
Well, he's the one who told me about the board, right?
Yeah.
I asked him if there's a particular type of meat or plant life they're looking.
No, meat's meat. We just can't keep hunting since we're waiting for the other clans of turtles to get here. So any kind of meat and what else did you say you had?
Well, I say that I'd already given the colossal prey arm to Purity Claw.
You probably made her day, didn't you?
She seemed very happy. Is there any particular plant life you're looking for, or just standard?
Well, we have Zeus that casually makes mushrooms and other herbs, but it's kind of hard to do any kind of medicine or any kind of potions with just one. That's why Zeus is always trashed. Apparently he gets his magic from being drunk.
You gotta love the drunken math.
So yeah, basically any herbs you find will suffice. And with your buddy that fixed the ship, you should be able to sail that in no time.
Okay.
Jimmy, roll. Let's see. Roll perception first.
Honestly, I feel like that's something you probably.
All right, never mind. Gage, you roll perception. You didn't notice, but you do have something. So Ed, when you were looking at Gage, you know how he has like the nice, fairly nice looking armor, but he's covered in blood. But you look around his neck and he's wearing a necklace that wasn't there when he was hanging upside down. And when you look at it, it's got like little, looks like the claws from the raptor.
Wait, I didn't collect any claws.
You didn't,
No.
but you don't notice the necklace. You are oblivious to the necklace.
He's oblivious of something he's wearing. That's actually kind of fun.
Well, it got snuck on by Purity. Well, that's because what's wrong with Gage? He has some issues. We'll just say that. They just haven't hit him yet. So what are you guys doing?
Damn it, Zeus. I'd ask him if he has any of that meat from that raptor so we can give it for some money to maybe get some more stuff.
KG's talking to you.
Oh, what's up?
I ask if you have any of the meat from the kill. They have a quest here. They're
No.
looking for.
You gonna make a barbecue, my prince? Fine choice. Barbecue it is.
So you pull the meat out and you see Spatula get real excited. Or Gage, you see the turtle that was at the sitting there stirring the pot get real excited at you.
I'm just gonna stare at it and be like, and then hand the meat off to the prince.
So she walks up. So Spatula walks up to you, Ed, and puts her hands out. That's all she does.
I hand it to her.
Let it.
Probably with the little bit of like, I need to go wash my hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
cause
it was wrapped up. Don't worry, I didn't just hand you raw meat. I know how you are.
so she takes it. You see her. She plops one thing of meat into the pot, and she takes the rest of it back to the storage tent. Dread comes over and says, "Thanks for the help. You guys gonna go out to the island and get more supplies, or?" What are you gonna do? Jimmy, go ahead and roll your perception again. So you feel like, your rod's been in there a while and nothing's happened. Like, you would think you would catch fish because you and number 2 were out on the beach and you noticed that there were a lot of large fish out there.
Yep, I don't know. I keep letting it soak. Actually, I should do this. Actually, I would know to reel it in and check the bait.
There's no bait.
That was gonna be you.
As I start screaming and cussing, I go back to the tank, grab more
Man,
bait,
Vic.
and throw it back out.
Math is different than it was. No, look at A pluses on that shit.
I was gonna say, between the two of us, for now,
All right, Ed. So what are you guys doing?
I'll need a fucking calculator to do it.
Huh?
I said I'll need a fucking calculator to do it. I can't just do this shit in my head.
I can just do it in my head.
I can't.
That's because
Science.
she's dumb.
Fuck with her science.
I'll go keep buying.
No, she has the same like math aptitude that like we have.
Hey, peace out for life. After a fucking call down.
All right. So what are you two idiots doing? Because I know what Jimmy's doing. Jimmy's trying to catch something, not just crabs.
You already got those.
From your mom.
From Felicia.
Probably not.
So he asked you if you're gonna go set sail to go to the island. Dread did. Looking at you, Ed, not the other guy, because he keeps kneeling before you. Every time Gage kneels and says "my prince," he just kind of does like the eyebrows, like "what the fuck."
I don't keep doing it. Why would I keep doing that? I did it once, and that's all that needs to be done.
Technically not. Every time you speak to him, you should be at a sign of respect.
But if you read my bio, fight over everything.
Well, no, you think you're right.
No, we would fight over everything, but I always get my way.
Yeah, but you still talk to him with utter respect.
Yeah, respectable. I don't have to get the knee every time.
Yeah, but he did see you do that earlier. But like he keeps saying, you keep saying my prince, and he's just so confused on
Yeah.
the hell is he doing.
I don't remember anything about sailing to an island, though. I don't think that was conversed with.
He told you about the other isles. Jimmy, or not Jimmy, Jeremy did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did, because he said the storm came from the other isles.
I didn't know about a plan to go to the other isle, so.
That's why Dredd asked you if you're going to go.
Like, what the fuck?
And Dredd,
No.
Why are you such a bully? And I'm like, why are you such
Dredd also tells you that basically you have free rights to his resources. So saying you needed adventuring gear, like a knife and some rope, you can take it from the supply tent. That's why he didn't, he didn't charge you for weapons or anything like that. He just kind of let you have them. All right, Jimmy, let's try to do perception again. See. I want you to catch something.
Stop.
There we go. Now I gotta find it. You want to roll an insight check to see if you know, like, when you're feeling it and whether it's a strong fish or not. Damn, that's probably the highest roll you've ever had. Oh my god, why did it freeze? It's a fairly strong fish. Like it's pulling hard enough that, like, you watch the rod, like, it bends down and it should have broke, but it didn't. And it's kind of like dragging you along a little bit.
Ooh, baby. Daddy's got something on his rod.
Do you make a lot of noise when you?
No, it's more me just like saying that
Mm-hmm.
to myself.
Man, I
I'm
can't.
waiting on Dumb and Dumber.
Trying to find it here. Because it's a perfect fish for you, Jimmy. Ooh, this is perfect, perfect, perfect. You want to roll a strength check to see if you can start pulling it in?
Nope.
Yeah, so he's pulling you farther in the water.
Not today, Isis.
So you guys are hearing the commotion from where Jimmy's at. Like, he's splashing in the water now.
I'd probably go see what the noise was.
So when you walk over to where Jimmy's at, Jimmy's about waist deep in this water. And from what Jeremy told you, that the ecosystem is completely reversed. The big fish are up front, little fish are deep. And he's holding a fishing rod, and it's going to town. So what are you doing?
Who, me?
All three of you, because I'm guessing Gage would have followed Ed, because Ed left the area.
I'm just trying to catch a goddamn fish.
Well, Ed comes over to where you're at. Like, you see the two idiots pop around the corner on the shore, just staring at you. So go. What do you guys do?
I'm catching.
Hop around the corner and stare at him. Like, what the fuck do you do?
All right, Jimmy, try another strength. So you guys notice that he's getting pulled farther and farther into the water. Actually, I'll do something nice for you, Jimmy. No, you definitely win. That's a 20. He is like nipple height in the water now. And all you see is the tip of the rod in the water.
Ask him if you.
You ask him if he needs help.
Yeah.
Fuck off, nerds. This is my fish. I'm pretty sure the pig can't swim.
I don't think Gage is paying attention.
No, he's not.
Oh, no, what?
He said he doesn't think the pig can swim. Like Jimmy is nipple deep in this water. And his fishing rod it looks like it's broken in half, but it's still together.
I may not be able to swim, but at least I know how to fish, you pansy.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
What?
Are you trying to intimidate him?
Making fun of him. Obviously. He's in the water
So,
because a fish is pulling him into the water.
Jimmy, since he's running his mouth, roll with advantage a strength check because you're mad.
I get a little bit of
Yeah, you got back. You're
back
back.
at my waist.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm back at my waist.
Like Jimmy, you could feel it in the rod. Like this fish it's a big boy.
Ooh, baby.
Like you two are looking at him like he shouldn't be struggling with this thing. But for some reason he is. You guys gonna do anything?
What? No, why would I want to help him?
He said no, so.
So you guys gonna go away, or are you guys gonna hang out?
I want to watch him get pulled all the way into the water, so. I'm going to suggest, let's watch this. Let's see what happens.
All right, Jimmy. You're still mad because they're sitting there, and you just see that. Yep. You're back on the shore, and you can start to see this. You can see the fin, but the line goes slack all of a sudden.
Oh, uh-oh.
Is there anything you want to do?
I start pulling slack in as fast as I can, and I also look to see if that bitch is swimming right at me.
Well, how clear the water is? Go ahead and roll. I'll let you roll perception to see. I guess I'll give you advantage since it is out. The water is pretty clear. It's swimming towards you, but you can't see what type of fish it is.
Yep, I just start pulling line in as fast as I can.
You guys are watching Jimmy frantically pulling this line in. You guys gonna do anything?
Nope.
Besides which I had popcorn.
Jimmy, roll.
Go.
I think it's acrobatics. Which one's dex?
Acrobatics.
Where are you at? Jimmy, that's 18.
Ooh, baby.
So you roll it out of the way. This fish plops on the land. It is a giant catfish. It's definitely longer than you are. He's
I
trying.
was gonna yell, damn, look at the size of that.
Yeah, he's now the fish is trying to wiggle back. What do you do? Trying to get back in the water.
I fucking jump on that son of a bitch.
Athletics? With a 14, you're on top of it.
I just kind of sit there and ride it until it calms down to be able to grab a hold of it and start pulling it further
Let's
up.
see if you guys gonna do anything watching Jimmy jump on this fish.
I'm gonna yell, you need some help now there, elf.
Fuck off, pig.
Jimmy, you stayed on.
I just grab it by the gill and just start wrenching it up the hillside.
Let's do a strike check against each other. D20 plus 2. Yeah, you're able. You're pulling them up with ease. And let's see. Roll acrobatics again. Damn. So you see him. He tries to bite you, but you're able to dodge that thing. And when you see it open its mouth, it looks like shark teeth.
Not get no more.
Ooh, stay away from that end. Yep, still pulling it up. Who's the cook? What's the turtle's name?
Spatula.
Hey, Spatula, I got something for you.
Well, she walks over, because this thing. Would you like to do a strength check to see if you just pick it up?
Sure.
So
You move about a fin.
you can. You pick it up, like you just kind of like roll it over, like you can roll it.
Okay. Yeah, I call for Spatula to get her to come out.
Well, she walks over to you, but she looks terrified. Like she doesn't want to go anywhere near that thing.
You not like this fish, Spatch?
Well, she starts shaking her head now, and you hear Dredd come over, and he yells at you, "You need to kill this son of a bitch."
Okay, I take my thing out and stab it right in the top of the head.
Do it with advantage. Attack.
And it is the switch at sword. 6 damage.
Damn, he rolled a 16 too. You stabbed it. It, like you see the blood leaking out of it, but it didn't really phase it that much.
Bonus action, switch to axe.
Now it's bleeding.
Oh, Jesus. I'm just gonna keep hacking it away.
So
With
he's
head.
gonna try to get away from you. Roll, because he rolled Dex to flop out of there. Roll strength check to see if you hold him. All right, so he plopped out and he's starting to wiggle back to the water.
Fuck, and I take my axe, and I'm just gonna swing down at its head. Again.
Okay,
Is it gonna be normal or their advantage?
it's an advantage because he's running away. Opportunity. Ten, 16, 21. It's now just kind of flopping, trying to. Like it went real stupid when you hit him in the head.
Alright, and then fucking switch it back to the sword and stab straight down.
It's lifeless. You pinned it.
While-
You
while
pinned it to the
look-
ground.
Yeah, while looking at pig.
He almost got away. Hey Jimmy, do you want to carve?
Well, it said raw meat and fresh fish. Do they want the whole fish, or do they just want the meat?
Well, you can still carve it to get. You'll still get meat out of it even if you destroy it.
Okay.
But you can carve to get. Say you wanted to cut off a fin or. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, let's cut this bitch up. Let's fillet this bitch.
Wait, let me find the carve information. This one. You're gonna roll survival.
Oh god.
Once the damn.
Still rolled a 17. I rolled 18 minus 1. Unless
So
I have
you-
advantage, or unless I have.
Checks against. So you should be able to see it.
What's that?
You should be able to see the thing. It says carve details.
That's how it's done.
So you needed 11,
Okay.
so we were able to carve it. Roll d20. You can carve this thing twice, so. And that roll was a. So you got some Agaja skin. That's how you spell it. And then you want to do it again? Do you want to see if you can get another successful carve? So survival check.
Yep. And
You're
Oh, man.
successful. Roll another d20. And you got a scale from it.
alright.
And you were able to cut this up, like you filleted it out. You were able to perfectly cut off the skin and then pluck scale. You pluck the scale off of it. Because it has this big scale on his forehead. Basically the one you were cutting up, but you were hitting just right below it. So you were able to successfully keep the scale.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring spatula to meat. How about now? Will you take it now?
She smiles at you and just points to the supply shed.
I'm bringing the guts with me too, by the way.
Alright, so
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna.
Wallpaper for that one.
It just goes in the tent.
Yeah, I put it over there.
I still can't believe that you killed a CR1.
By myself?
Yep. I think your weapon's overpowered.
It's just a 1d10. I mean, it's a normal. Not really overpowered. It's just that he really didn't try to attack me.
Oh,
It was just I had.
he was at
Unlimited, I
disadvantage
just had-
basically for everything.
Yeah, I was literally
Earlier
just
kitchen.
waylay on. You know.
So Jimmy, I'm gonna give
Where's
you.
that board at?
It was right next to Zeus's house.
So like over here? So would I see it and see that they want the fresh meat then?
Yeah, you walked past it.
Alright. It says, please collect these items on your adventure. You don't need to. Why does it say you don't need to collect it?
Like you don't need to collect them all.
Oh, okay. It says we'll be paid handsomely.
And Jimmy, I'm gonna add the stuff that you got that you're holding on to is in your note.
Alright, well, I have it in my inventory too.
No, like there's special things about. I guess you wouldn't know. Never mind.
check or something.
Probably Arcana.
Yeah, if it's magical, then you have to do Arcana.
Alright, so Dread's like, oh, nice kill. So I see you guys can handle yourself. Are you guys gonna go to the island? Go to the other island? There's greater rewards over there.
Wasn't there something we were supposed to do on this island?
This island's basically you got monkeys, pigs, raptors.
I thought we were supposed to go try to find somebody. Or something. What were we getting ready to go out and do on the first adventure? Or is it just we had to go fucking...
We were they're
Another
waiting
day.
for other people.
No, what was it me and Jeremy that played it last time?
Yeah.
Was it just to go fucking kill those monkeys?
Yeah. Because they needed supplies because they were running out.
Okay.
So basically, Dred's just trying to see if you guys want to take the boat out.
Alright, before we continue any of that, I suggest we go ahead and pause here because I'm about to go.
Yeah, well, that's what this is going to be.
Oh, I thought you wanted us to start taking the boat now, and I was like, nope, we gotta pause a little bit.
Well, I guess we can start getting things together to take the boat.
Okay. So we'll end there. So the next one will be
Gathering resources and stuff to take the boat so we have supplies.
well, we'll just say you'll have the resources whenever.
Okay.
I'll just put a note. That everyone like saying stuff you want to bring with you. That we can just add to it. Yeah, so that's where we're gonna end. So next time, since Jeremy's passed out on the boat, you guys can just drag him along on passed out on the boat.